Hey, what's up YouTube? Today we're going to be implementing a doubly linked list in TypeScript. The basics of a doubly linked list is pretty much a list of nodes. With doubly linked lists, we usually have a head node and a tail node. Each node has a next property, a previous property, and a value property. So here, this is pretty much gives you an idea of how a node kind of works. Okay, so let's get this started. Let's create our node. Let's create our class, and let's do our pre-append method. So let's walk this. So we take an item, a number, but it's going to be type generic. We don't return anything, so it's going to be void. First thing we do is bookkeep. We add to our length because no matter what, we are adding to this list. We create our new node. We check if there is no head, if our node is completely empty. We go ahead and we select head and tail, create our new node, create our new list. And then we return off of that. We don't want to keep going. If there is a head or a tail or just items in general in the list, we start connecting the nodes. New nodes.next is going to point to the current head line below it. This heads.previous, it's pointing backwards now, it's going to connect to the new node. We're connecting each other. And then at the end, remember, we're just telling our code that this head is now the new node. And then that's it. We just pop out of it. Okay, now we're going to implement the append method where we just add to our tail, we connect the nodes, and we select this last node to be our tail. Let's implement that now. Now that we have our append method, let's go through it. So it's very similar to the pre-append method where we take a number, we, no matter what, add to this length because we're no matter what, adding a new node to this list. And then we create our, the node. Now we check if the last node, which is our tail, is undefined or null. And then we do the same thing as up top. If this dot tail is null or undefined, then we initiate the list. And then we return off that. And then if it's not, if we do have nodes in there, then we just connect the nodes again. Okay, now we're going to the hardest part probably, which is the delete method. So here, pretty much we're going to be deleting the node in the middle, value 10. And this is pretty much what we created as of so far. And this is what we're pretty much going to be doing in code. We're pretty much going to sever the connections. We're going to hop over this completely. Let me see if I can do this. And hop over and make new connections like this. And leave that one in the dust. That's pretty much what we're going to be doing. Let's implement it now. First thing we do is we check if the length is 0 of our list. That's why having the length of a list is very handy. We can automatically just check if there's nothing in it. We return if there is, and then we keep going. You know what I mean? So then we start the walking process. We first start at the front of the list, which is our head, which is current. And while that current is true, we're going to walk it. First case we check for is if the current value equals our number that we're looking for. If it is, we break out of this while loop. If not, we just keep walking. We go to the next node. But now when we break, we're going to check if our node, because we could break on an undefined node. So let's check. If it is, we return, we do nothing. Now we check if the current node's next is available. If it is available, we grab that, we go to its previous, and we take the current node's previous and we clip them together. And then vice versa, we check if its previous is true. And if it is true, we skip the current node that we want to delete and we go to the next, which we already know is true because this takes care of that. And then finally, we check if the current node that we're deleting is a head. If it is, we move it over. Same thing, we check if it's a tail, we move it backwards. And then we initiate our class. Let's go pre-append. Let's do 10. Let's do 12, and then 13. And then get all. Oh, do I have TS Node? I probably do not have TS Node. If I have TS Node, I'll be surprised. There's no way I have TS Node. Oh, I do. Nice. Okay, so this is, so we pretty much just created a list like this. 12, 10, and 13. Okay, right, now let's check our deleting method, see if it works. We do a little new line here, we delete 10, and we get all. And it works. We have 12, 10, and 13, and then we only have 12 and 13. We take away 10. So there you go. This is a doubly linked list in TypeScript.